Hello Fit Buzzers, and welcome to Effective Fit Buzz Calf Training. Now, this is an issue that I spoke about almost a year ago now, but I haven't spoken about this in video or shown you anything about this in video. And also, it is a topic that hasn't been discussed too much since then in the email newsletters. It has been on the programs if I've been doing a one-to-one with you, or if you've replied to one of the emails or in any of the sessions that we might have done, but it hasn't been spoken about a lot. And it's an issue because it's something that does come up quite a lot in the programs. That is the issue of weak point training. Alright, that is where you are weak in a certain part of your body and it's just not being fixed. And all you're doing is concentrating on the areas that you are strongest at, because it's the easiest thing to do. So we're going to fix that. So let's go. Alright, so this is weak point training for calves. So how can you effectively fix your calves? Well, the first thing to mention here is that the calf muscles, as you probably know, is an area of your body that is very difficult to change the shape in, even strength, especially for guys, right? So if you've got no shape down there, no tone down there, no strength down there, and you want to change all of that, then this is one of the videos that you can watch, and you can add some of the things that I do in this video to help change that. Right? Again, this is some of the things that we cover in the program just for hitting calves. There is no module for this yet, but it may be in the very, very near future. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to target lower calves. Right? So the first thing you can do for your lower calves, you can do seated calf raises. So with seated calf raises, what that does, it helps target the lower calves a bit more in a bit more targeted way. And it's not just the lower calves, it's the lower calves and the outer area of your calf, which is very, very hard to change. So if you're in a gym and there's a seated calf raise machine, use it. It's very effective for your lower calves. Now the next thing you can do also for your calves is the standing calf raise, as you may know. But what you do is you do calf raise with a slight bend in the knee, right? So this is straight calves, right? Legs are totally straight. But what you're going to do is, watch this. You're going to bend your knee slightly, ever so slightly, and automatically, your calves are being hit a lot harder. You're going to feel it straight away. And all you've done is just bend your knee a little bit, right? It's a little slight bend in the knee. And the next thing you could do also for your lower calves is something that we do with the 21s exercise, or sorry, the 21s rep range style which you may know for with bicep curls, right? This is where you do several reps at the bottom, several reps at the top, and then several or full range of motion, all in one swift movement. So what you do for this and the lower calves is that all you do is you just start at the bottom and you hit the middle. Don't go all the way to the top, right? Right? Let's do partials. And it's a nice way to wake the muscles up because it's something different than the norm, right? So that's the third thing. Those are the main things you could do for your lower calves. There are loads of other things you could do, but those are the main little tweaks that we've been using as well in a lot of the Fit Buzzer custom programs. So the next thing to target is the upper part of the calf. Now calf raises, again, standing calf raises again, are the winner here. They're the winner here. So standing calf raises, and just to add to that, what we did with the lower calf, with the partials, the same thing, like in 21s, but instead you just hit the top. So start at the top and only come halfway down. Alright? And you max it out. So that's lower calves, upper calves, some things you could do to target there. Now the other part is the epic part of the calf that I like, one of the most, is the front part. So that part of your leg is a big old muscle there, and if you've got some nice separation, even if you haven't, believe me, there's a muscle in it that looks fantastic once you do get that separation in there. Right? Once you start to shred down, get your body fat percentages a bit lower. You'll start to see it and it looks fantastic, especially for you ladies who love to wear your heels, right? So how do you target that? So if you're on the machine, right, you're standing in the machine with the barbell on your back, all you do is you stand on the edge, you do reverse calf raises. So you stand on the edge and all you do is keep your legs stuck totally straight, all right? And you bring them down, and all the way up, down, all the way up, down, all the way up. I wouldn't advise to do this outside of the machine. Doing so can lead to some drastic fallovers, which you don't want, all right? You don't want to be falling over in front of everyone. So, front of your calves, that will help target that epic part of the front of your leg, lower leg. So, those are the main parts of hitting your calves. So you've got the lower calves there, upper calves, and the front of your calves. So now for some extra tips. So, one thing you can do extra to add to the epicness of your calves, you can do something that you could do on many exercises actually. It's where you hold the position for when you finish your reps. On the last few reps, you're gonna hold the position. So you're doing calf raises, right? And then you're gonna hold it for 10 seconds. And then when you're doing 80 kg or 90 kg, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna notice it straight away, right? But usually on most exercises, you only do it once. So if it's your last rep, you only do this like once. But because calf raises are a high rep exercise, you do it a few times, right? So that's one thing you could do. It's the full contraction hold, which I like to call it. The next thing you could do also is the 2 pauses before you hit the top. So this is where you start off and you do something like this. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. Now it doesn't seem like much, but I can assure you, you will not be able to do the same amount of 20 or 30 or even 40 reps of calf raises that you usually do on maybe a 70 kg to 90 kg weight. Doing that, you will be taken down and you will only be able to do maybe 20 max, right? But it's effective. It really helps switch up the routine and how the muscles remember what you're doing to them, and it makes your muscles say, what the is going on, right? So the full contraction and the 2 pauses before you hit the top are the 2 things you can add to your calf raise routine when you're doing your calf raises. So another important thing that I don't want to miss out is you could do the feet positioning, effective stuff, right? So be careful with this and practice it, and just know your limits with how your muscles and your ligaments are aligned with your body. You should know by now, if you've been working out for a period of time, you should know how your body feels and what feels right, what feels wrong. But in general, when you put your feet, when your toes are pointed inwards and your heels are pointed outwards, this will help target the outer part of your calves. All right, it's very good for that. So that's one thing you could do. And then what you could do is again do the opposite, and doing the opposite will help target the inner part. So the toes pointed outwards slightly, and the insides of your calves will get a nice working. All right. So that about wraps it up. So the only thing I really want to mention is that with the calf, if you're going to work calves, if calves are the weak part of your body, then what you're going to do is this. Not just calves actually, it's with everything. It's with everything in life actually. Focus on the areas that you're weak. Focus on that first. So when you do your workout, if calves are your weak area, start your workout by working your calves first, right? You already know that you're strong in the wrist. You know, you might have a great upper body, or I don't know, some other body parts might just look fantastic, and you work those all the time. You're like, yeah, they're looking great, I'm gonna make them look better. But you don't work your weak areas because, you know, it's painful, right? And you walk away from pain. So straight away, you ignore it. So start your workout. It doesn't have to be eternally. It could be for a short while, maybe a few weeks. Just by working that body part, and if it's calves, work your calves at the start of your workout, right? So whatever you're weak at, focus on that first. So only other tips is do your calf raises when you're not in a gym. Do them anywhere. Do them when you're walking up the stairs. Do them when you're in line in a supermarket. Well, I wouldn't do that, but you can do that. Do them anywhere. Just do calf raises anywhere. Do them all the time, and you'll immediately start to notice a difference in the lower parts of your legs. Yeah. So I'll leave it as that. Just use everything that I showed you in this video, and you will start to build some epic lower legs. All right, and as part of the reshape challenge, we don't want to mention this here too much, but the main thing with this is that just perform more sets. Right, just go nuts, go to failure, make your muscles scream, because that's when they begin to grow and that's when they change. So until the next video, Fit Buzzers, I'll see you then. Bye bye.